ruling and opposition parties have hammered out an agreement on the special Sewol law, and the families of the victims have agreed. The Korean automobile industry is in crisis mode as imported cars start to flood the local market. And the diabetic population tops 4 million in Korea, meaning the number of people suffering from diabetic complications such as stroke is increasing as well.
Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Monday, November 3rd. I'm Luke Claring. Family representatives of the Sewol victims have finally accepted a bill on the special Sewol Ferry Act, hammered out by the ruling and opposition parties. The families made 5 demands, including a public pledge to prevent another disaster like the ferry sinking.
Representatives of the Sewol Ferry victims held a press conference at the Gyeonggi Museum of Modern Art in Ansan, Gyeonggi Province on Sunday evening. Here they announced their acceptance of a bipartisan bill of the special Sewol Ferry Act. They said they would not oppose the parliament passing the special ferry bill on Friday. The breakthrough came 201 days after the deadly ferry accident.
적지 않은 한계와 문제점에도 불구하고 가족 대책위는 4차례에 걸친 양당의 지난한 합의 과정을 존중하며
Prior to the announcement, the Committee of Victims' Families held a general meeting and discussed whether to accept the bill for 2 hours. The family representatives said that they respect the bill agreed by both parties, but it still needs some improvements. Then they demanded that on Friday, when the special ferry bill is to pass the National Assembly, a public pledge to investigate the truth and build a safe society be held in the presence of both party leaders, government representatives, and victims' families. The committee made 4 additional demands. The family members also said they expect to address some of the concerns about the bill over the few days remaining until its passage. The ruling and opposition parties agreed on a special ferry bill 3 days ago. The bill stipulates that the Special Investigation Committee on the ferry accident remain in operation up to 18 months, and the committee be led by a person recommended by the representatives of victims' families. Families of non-student victims will also hold a General Assembly soon and announce its official stance on the bipartisan agreement.
External economic conditions are deteriorating with the sharp depreciation of the Japanese currency and the slowdown in the global economic recovery. The South Korean government says it's poised to use this as an opportunity to overhaul the domestic economy.
Korean exporters are facing increasing challenges because of slow global economic recovery, as well as the depreciation of the Japanese yen. To make matters worse, the presidential office made it clear that there would be no more additional short-term measures to help exporters, such as tax benefits the government used to offer in the past. Instead, the Park Geun-hye administration is poised to overhaul the domestic economy by implementing its 3-year economic innovation plan.
가격 경쟁이 아닌 근본적인 체질 개선을 위한 우리의 창의적인 아이디어와 우리가 가지고 있는 핵심 기술들을 활용해서 충분히 우리 기업이 보다 이것을 더 큰 기회로 삼아서 더 경쟁력을 높일 수 있다.
The government says they will step up creative economy and regulatory reform starting next year, as the budget for the 3-year economic innovation plan has been finally set. That's also the reason the government is urging the National Assembly to pass the budget bill within the deadline. The government is determined to devise measures that enhance efficiency and productivity in the public sector by the end of this year as the first step of the economic overhaul. However, the government added that it would not be desirable to fire the heads of underperforming public organizations just by citing low evaluation scores as part of their efforts to do away with shabby management in the public sector. On another note, President Park Geun-hye is to visit China, Myanmar, and Australia in about a week to attend the APEC, the ASEAN Plus 3, and the G20 summits. The presidential office says that President Park will focus on obtaining international consensus on her creative economy policies and a 3-year economic innovation plan.
The Korean automobile industry is in crisis mode as imported cars start to flood the local market. The competition for a bigger slice of the Korean car market is only going to get more intense next year as Korean car makers get ready to roll out new models.
This is the Ansan, recently released by Hyundai Motor. It's a luxury sedan designed to compete with the imported models priced between $30,000 and $40,000. The Ansan has a roomier interior than comparable imported models and is equipped with cutting-edge features such as a head-up display that shows driving information on the windshield. The four-wheel drive vehicle also promises better riding comfort than foreign imports.
국내 시장을 보시면 독일계 후륜 구동이 주축을 이루고 있습니다. 그러한 독일계 후륜 구동에 대해서 피로감을 느끼는 고객들이 상당히 늘어나고 있고.
Hyundai Motor is to release a completely redesigned Tucson and Avante next year, the first makeover in 5 or 6 years. Hyundai's sister company Kia Motor also plans to introduce the second-generation model of the K5 sometime next year. Renault, Samsung, Ssangyong Motor, and GM Korea will also roll out new models. Domestic car makers have concluded that it would be difficult to defend the local market from foreign imports with existing models. Imported cars have taken up to 15% of market share this year.
국내 소비자들이 국내에 출시되는 한정된 차종에 만족하지 못하고 또 해외 브랜드들 같은 경우는 국내에 다양한 차종을 출시를 하고 있기 때문에
Some industry analysts claim that the Korean automobile market is already starting to get saturated. It won't be easy to take back the market share lost to imported cars unless new Korean-made vehicles demonstrate distinctive features and competitive fuel efficiency.
Farmers have their hands full with this year's harvest in the countryside, but there are plenty of green thumbs in the city as well. Here's a look at how city dwellers grow their crops on urban farms.
This vegetable farm is located across the street from an apartment complex. People with developmental disabilities as well as college students come here whenever they have free time to take care of the crops and fertilize them. Today, they are busy harvesting lettuce.
호주다 이쪽에 여기 따볼까? 여기 차곡차곡 쌓으면 돼.
Gardening has helped these people bond and understand each other better.
장에 대한 편견의 장벽이 이제 허무는 계기가 되고, 그러면 이 친구들도 충분히 사회와 소통을 할 수 있는 그런 창구들이 여러 군데가 만들어지지 않을까.
To elderly people who find life in a big city stifling at times, urban farms serve as an opportunity to recharge their energy. Being of a similar age, they get together at the farm to chat and work. Sometimes they even reap profits by selling their produce.
보세요. 호박 2,000원이에요.
여기 참나고 또 내 마음이 즐거우니까 나도 모르게 체중이 늘어서 이제 정상이 되고 모든 산업을 봐도 즐거워요, 그냥.
The area of urban farms in Seoul tripled from about 30 hectares in 2011 to 108 hectares last year. The number of urban farms in the city surpassed 2,000, while the number of farmers reached 440,000. Urban farms offer city dwellers a rare opportunity to stay close to nature, right in the heart of a big city.
As the diabetic population tops 4 million in Korea, the number of people suffering from diabetic complications such as stroke is increasing as well. Korea's death rate from diabetes is second highest among the member nations of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
This woman in her 50s has suffered from diabetes for 10 years now. She has developed end-stage renal failure after failing to keep her blood sugar level under control and must undergo dialysis 3 times a week. She even has high blood pressure.
당약 먹으면서 혈압약을 조금씩 먹으라 그래갖고 조금만 먹어요.
High sugar levels tend to damage blood vessels, causing vascular complications such as heart disease, stroke, and renal failures. Korea has the second highest death rate from diabetic complications among the OECD member nations. That means that Korean diabetic patients have failed to manage the risks properly. People with diabetes tend to watch only their blood sugar levels, but they also need to manage their blood pressure and cholesterol levels to prevent the complications. The Korean Diabetes Association has found that only 6.5% of the diabetic patients kept their blood pressure, blood sugar and cholesterol well under control.
인슐린 저항성에 의해서 고혈당 외에 고혈압, 고지혈증의 발생률이 높아지고 당뇨병 환자의 약 70%의 환자분들이 이러한 고혈압, 고지혈증을 동반하고 있습니다.
Therefore, the glycated hemoglobin level should be kept under 6.5%, blood pressure lower than 140 to 80, and LDL cholesterol level under 100. Such strict control can halve the occurrences and deaths from vascular complications among diabetic patients.
Many people like to listen to music through earphones on public transit, but listening to music too loudly may result in hearing loss, which is increasingly affecting young people.
This 18-year-old high school student came to buy hearing aids for herself.
친구들 말할 때도 불편하고 멀리서 말하면 안 들리고 이러니.
The results of her checkup showed that listening to music on high volumes caused her hearing loss. Noise-induced hearing loss occurs when the volume in the earphones is higher than the surrounding noise.
맨날 이어폰 끼고 있고 이어폰 끼고 잠들고 그래서.
The number of teenagers with noise-induced hearing loss surged nearly 30% over the past 5 years. Many subway passengers wear earphones these days.
실례합니다.
If you ask them something, they can't hear you.
불렀는데 소리 안 들리셨어요? 네. 뭐 들으세요?
We tested 5 people with normal hearing, including teenagers and those in their 20s, to find out how loud they turn on their music when riding the subway. Their median volume turned out to be 100 decibels, which is higher than the average subway noise of 80 decibels. Listening to music at 85 decibels for over 8 hours a day, at 95 decibels for over 4 hours a day, or at 105 decibels for over 2 hours a day may result in noise-induced hearing loss. Persistent loud noises damage the auditory cells in the cochlea. One of the telltale signs of noise-induced hearing loss is the tendency to ask people to repeat what they have just said. Treating hearing loss is not easy, so prevention is the key. Experts recommend minimizing the use of earphones and taking 5 to 10-minute breaks for every hour of listening to music.
Latin America has been hit hard with the Korean pop culture wave, Hallyu. Girls and boys there dreaming of becoming the next girls' generation or Big Bang. So let's take a look at the K-pop fever in countries half a world away from Korea.
This is the first Latin American girl group, Warrior Angels. The 6-member Colombian girl group song and dancing were produced in Korea. Their song's rhythms sound familiar to Koreans, but it is something new that has never been heard in Latin America.
No hay este tipo de concepto, entonces es como novedoso, representa algo que puede llegar a motivar a mucha gente.
Since debuting in August this year, Warrior Angels has been gaining fame by appearing in TV shows and holding concerts.
Somos Warrior Angels.
The 6 girls practice for 12 hours a day to realize their dream of becoming a Latin American version of the Korean idol girl group Girls' Generation.
Es muy difícil, duele mucho, pero todo sea por hacer un buen esfuerzo y que todas las cosas salgan bien.
In Brazil, a boy group named Tamps made a debut in June this year. It is enjoying popularity among Latin American K-pop fans. At least 2 or 3 more K-pop groups consisting of local members will soon debut in other Latin American countries. From a K-pop fan to a K-pop star, Latin American groups are getting ready for their chance to shine.
Many fans are mourning the death of pop singer Shin Hae-chul, who died last Monday. TV shows and concerts have been held in memory of the late singer. This and other news from showbiz industry are coming up. Let's take a look.
46-year-old singer Shin Hae-chul died on October 27th after falling into a coma following surgery. Special TV shows were aired in memory of Shin. Shin and his band won the grand prize of the MBC College Musicians Festival in 1988. A group of the winners of the music festival will hold a concert this weekend to pay respects to the singer. Featuring Shin's hit songs, the concert will look back on his life and music. Students of the university Shin attended will also hold a memorial concert for the late singer on November 7th. South Korean boy band SHINee will hold a concert at the Tokyo Dome in March next year. Although they've held many promotion tours and concerts in Japan, this will mark their first performance at the famous venue. The boy band will also release their 11th single album just days before the concert. SHINee released its third regular album in September and saw it top Japan's Oricon music chart. KBS2 TV has rescheduled its dramas and entertainment programs on weekdays. Starting from November 3rd, dramas will begin at 10 p.m. and entertainment shows at 11 p.m. on KBS2 TV.
Taste and nutritional value alone are not enough for today's picky eaters. Food has to be beautifully presented and fun to eat. Today, we're taking a look at food to delight all the senses.
Each table at this restaurant specializing in Chinese cuisine has a hammer.
저희 음식 드실 때 필요한 도구예요, 망치는.
You need a hammer to eat the food served here. To find out more about this mysterious place, we visited the kitchen. The Chinese noodles jjajangmyeon made here look quite ordinary. But there's a twist. The noodles are plated in a roasted tortilla shaped like a bowl. The name of this dish is also unusual, hammer jjajangmyeon.
짜장면을 조금 더 재밌게 먹기 위해서 만들게 되었습니다.
The chef came up with this idea because he wanted his customers to have more fun eating jjajang noodles. Breaking the tortilla with a hammer is fun indeed. The noodles hidden inside the tortilla are still warm. You have to wrap the broken tortilla pieces with the noodles. This way, the dish tastes very unique. But you can enjoy this dish your own way.
이게 까서 이렇게 열어서 먹는 게 되게 보물상자를 여는 느낌인 것 같아요.
You can also use the dishes served here for special occasions. Add some candles to present it like a cake. Inside is the delicious sweet pork dish 탕수육. Customers like the idea a lot.
특별하고 특이해서 재밌어서 자주 찾게 된다고요.
Here's another restaurant that has captivated customers' palates with an unusual idea. It serves steamed chicken with some unusual sauces made with curry, jjajang, and other ingredients. Steamed chicken with cheese is made by frying chicken with all kinds of vegetables and spices. Then, everything's topped with cheese, which melts, resulting in a spicy yet savory taste. The dish is especially popular among children and women. Steamed chicken with curry was developed specifically for foreign customers. And steamed chicken with jjajang sauce is made with noodles and eggs, making this dish look like a unique combination of steamed chicken and jjajang noodles.
다양한 연령의 사람들과 외국인들도 함께 즐길 수 있도록 저희가 여러 가지 소스를 개발해서 찜닭을 만들게 됐습니다.
Customers coming here say they look forward to trying the food because they can choose from a wide variety of flavors.
찜닭 종류가 많아서 고르는 재미도 있고 그리고 맛도 맛있고 좋아요.
These restaurants captivate their customers' hearts and palates by offering them delicious delights that are hard to find elsewhere.
And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.